anywhere from 3 to 5 years, depending on what kind of business it is, right? A license, your return on investment is going to be around 12 months, and that's how you can price it. So how much money are they going to make in 12 months' time? Okay, so for example, the first one, you might say, you know what, I might charge you $15,000, buy the license for $15,000, the end of that 12 months, and increase it every time as the value goes up of the business, okay? And the more experience you have, you can just add to it, okay? So it's a cheap entry point for the buyer, the people buying your license, because it's an established business model and it's one that actually works, okay? So for example, Suzette, you might want to, you train other photographers, they might want to buy your business model because they know it works, because you're backed by years of experience. But it's not going to cost them the amount of money that a franchise will. And a franchise as well, you don't have to worry about the big marketing campaigns that you need. You don't have to worry about providing them all of those resources and all of the systems. You just need the template, okay? Software. So you could create the software, something that, for example, what's really untapped in retail at the moment, if you're a developer or if you're associated, you work with developers and you work with businesses, something that you might think about is having real-time back ends. So a retail store, it automatically comes off their stock levels without them having to manually adjust it. That doesn't happen a lot these days, and so a lot of people,
really?
yes,
I'm sure we do
Yeah.
that all the time.
but a lot of retailers, so that is an avenue. You can create that software. Again, it doesn't have to be expensive. It may have a little outlay, but you create that software and then you can just sell it to your customers time and time again, okay? You have that license. You don't have to make it. You could get someone else to make it, but that entire concept of that software is yours. Multiple domains. So something that, you know, you might think about is, you know, doing, you know, your SEO, you talk about that, creating different domains and it all going into the one funnel, okay? So for example, we spoke about, like, you know, we've got our lead generations up here. It may be that you're having multiple domains, and a lot of
just domain names.
Domain names
going to the one site.
into the one site.
Yep.
Or it may be that, you know what, you may want to get a whole, and you know, Kat mentioned it last time, the web estate. You know, so you begin to buy your domains, buy the sites, monetize those sites and flip those sites. And you can do that quite quickly and turn around that if you're kind of tech savvy. But that's another popular way. Affiliates. So you've got your drop shipping. Okay, so you don't have to, you can think outside the square. You don't have to buy or become a distributor for all of these products. There's companies out there that you can go to that you go, okay, I want to buy a massage oil, but I don't want to spend $5,000. You can just use the drop shipping. So you can become an affiliate. The information products as well. So for example, you know, the SEO, you know, the resources and stuff like that. If you don't want to create the products, you know, like James Shremco has all of the products, and you can become an affiliate and sell all of his products. So if you don't want to create it yourself, become an affiliate to, you know, a reputable business, another business person. High profile expert. Again, I think this is going to be fantastic for you, Kathers, because once you build your expertise, then and your profile, then you're just going to fly.
Yeah.
You're just going to fly, and it really is a way to build credibility. And with credibility, you know, it's know, like, trust.
Your difference is you've got the credentials plus the product.
Yeah,
Whereas
exactly.
everyone else has got the credentials
Yeah.
and relies on someone else's
Yeah.
product. So.
Yeah, exactly. And she sings, she acts like she does, you know, it's awesome. Now, the biggest thing in my business is what I learned is to create the bridge Okay, so where will your community go next? Where will they go next? And you create the bridge for them. Okay? And this is something that it's not always obvious. Okay, so it might be down the track and it will sit totally parallel. Okay? So for example, if I'm mentoring a lingerie business, so I'm going, okay, and they come through, upside down, they come through my entire funnel, okay? I can go down the licensing track, but where are my retailers going to go? Where are my retail businesses going to go? You could design an entire label, okay? So they're not selling it, but you create that bridge. What are they going to need? If they expand into lingerie, they've got every single collection. So they now do swimwear, they do sleepwear, they do absolutely everything. Where are they going to do? Where are they going to go next? Is it going to be fashion? Do I need to go into women's wear? Okay, create that funnel for them. Create that product for them. Yeah? Any questions?
No. Just don't. Everyone's just
Shut up. Oh, okay.
It's percolating, it's okay.
As long as it's
As
happening.
it's ideas percolating.
Yeah, exactly.
And coffee.
I think
No,
that's
to my brother, that's a
okay.
different
Yeah,
statement.
but I had that. Yeah.
Percolating.
Okay, so this is really cool. I like this. Oops, wrong way. Yeah. So here, where is it? There you've got your front end here. You've got your back end. Most businesses stop here, as I said. But once we get this happening, this here, that is the 1% of the population. Okay? Now the truth is that a lot of, if we go through to, look at the stats, and we look in this room, only 1% of us in this room is going to make a difference. But the thing is that we get to choose and switch that mindset and start to think big, and we get to choose that we're going to be that 1%, okay? So we look at your extended back end and your never end. So if you want to create and go on those holidays and enjoy that life, we need a passive income to make that happen. Now, Jo on Sunday is going to talk about wealth creation, and she's going to talk about property. So she's going to talk about ways that you can use your business to fuel that, and you can offset some of that into property if that's the way you want to go down. Or you can create your licenses, and you have the licenses, the rights, you create the tools they need, and then you've got all the royalties. And from the software, every time you sell it, you've got all the royalties. That's cool, huh? That's all you, so the biggest thing here is think about what your customers are going to do. Where are they going to go next, and you create it for them. Create that bridge for them. Get those licenses, get the rights, and get the tools. When you're talking about trademarking doesn't have to cost a lot.
Okay.
Like if you're going down that track again, let me know, because and I'm actually going to be doing a few webinars on it as well. Not to me, because I'm not the expert
An IP?
whatsoever. Yes. Yep. So So I'll be talking to you about that on Sunday. But we'll be doing webinars on that. Yep. So that's the big picture.
In a very brief time.
In a very brief time. But no, I want to. Do you want to go and eat lunch? Sorry, I'm running late for you, Jo.
It's all right.
Are you?
I can
There's
have a
lunch.
short lunch.
Yeah, if we can have a short lunch, come back in. Can we spend maybe half an hour working on the big back end? Is that cool?
Yeah.
And then we can go back. Does anyone have any questions before we'll have lunch, come back in, and then I think we'll probably work about another half an hour on this, and then I don't want to take up too much time. Are you around for you are the rest of the afternoon, aren't you? Cool.
I'm on the mainland for the whole weekend.
You're Tasmanian. What I do though is put you in a situation where you're offering time for money, and there's only so much time. Okay, so therefore it's limited. Okay, it's IP relevant, and there's also a high failure rate from a lot of businesses up here. I don't know what the recent stats are, but is it 1 in
25?
1 in 5?
Really?
Yeah, 1 in 5 businesses.
What, startup businesses or established businesses?
That's startup businesses.
Okay.
But then after that, this is for memory, I haven't rechecked the stats. So it's 80%. No, that's not right. Is it 1 in 5 businesses fail in the first 2 years, and then I think it's 3 to 4 years after that, 50% of those will fail, and then 10 years after that, only one of them will be in business.
Really?
Yeah.
Because people think it's so easy.
Yeah.
Let's just get some business cards, mate.
Yeah, exactly. and it's not.
True.
Yeah,
You've got
it's
to make
true.
sure it's
Yeah.
sustainable, that's the issue.
Yeah.
I find it fascinating.
The other stats are that it takes 2 to 3 years to make money out of your
And
business.
Yes, that's right.
Where does that fit in? Because if I give
Yeah.
up after 2 years, then
Yes.
what have I got?
Yeah,
They have to,
exactly.
they've got no money.
Yeah, exactly, that's right. So most people operate in this kind of area, but once you go really deep into it, you come out here and it'll sit you in a comfy position. You'll be happy and you'll be healthy. Like Kath originally said, I'd love to be a presenter on Play School. I'm like, oh no, you've got all this happening. Like just talking to this girl's got how much potential? Like so much potential. So once you tap into it's this versus this, and it really is just a matter of stepping outside your comfort zone, stepping outside, thinking outside the square, and that's where you can start to think about, how can I create those multiple income streams without offering my time? So, with that, let's talk about a big back end.
Yes,
So,
I have.
Got one right.
Who wants to go first? Janelle.
What am I going first for?
I'm
sorry. I just sure.
What's your big back end?
Oh, and then not me. I don't have a clue.
So you do have a clue. You do.
Selling your product